from Cardio Golf, and this is your Cardio Golf live workout. So what we're going to do is just some general fitness. This workout is good for people that have been sitting around a lot today, so it's a good time to get up and move around a little bit. So I'm going to use a couple of different things: my Cardio Golf Slope, a little resistance band, a regular golf club, and my Shortee practice training club. If you don't have these things, you have to get creative and try to figure out what you can use instead. So let's start off with a little bit of a warm-up using my slope and this resistance band. And a resistance band like this that you put around your knees, just above your knees like this, is really great to activate those inner and outer thighs, the glute muscles, get everything fired up. So you're going to stand on one side of the slope here, and we're just going to do like a little, I call it fire walk right here. And you'll figure out why it's called fire walk in a second, because it really gets those glutes on fire. So a couple things here. You're trying to stay steady over the standing leg. Keep it a little bit bent. Keep your core nice and tight, and you're just going in and out trying to stretch that band. Trying to stretch that band. So I like it around the knees, like here, because that really gets those inner and outer thighs. Good. So as you do this, be really mindful of your posture. Try not to hunch over like this, arch your back too much. Balance. So we're doing about 10 on one side, and then you're going to go ahead and go over carefully. And then you're doing it on this side. Fire both sides up right here. You'll feel it in your standing leg. You'll feel it in your glute right here. So really try to stretch that band. If you can go a little bit wider, that's good. All right, that's a great little exercise just to kind of warm up those inner and outer thighs. Get that hips going right now. Great. All right, from here, just be careful. Shimmy that off of your legs right here. Be careful, and you can just throw that anywhere. And so now, we're just going to get our heart rate going a little bit. Step on the slope. If you don't have a slope, you need to get one, CardioGolf.com. If not, you can just do it in place, or if you have like a regular flat bench. Now, what's different about my Cardio Golf Slope than a regular flat bench is because it's curved, it acts as some instability. So it's as if you were walking on nature. You know, in nature, up in the golf course, you're never really walking on a completely flat lie. So your ankle, your knee, hip have to stabilize, and it makes your core work harder than if you were on a flat surface. So it's good to practice this. So if you want to go ahead and take it up a little bit more, at a little bit faster pace, that's really good. Anything you can do to fire your muscles faster will help your golf swing, because the faster you can move, the faster you can swing, create club head speed. So we're going for about 30 seconds right here. Land lightly, get your heart rate going. Nice. Last 3. Last 2. And last one. For here, we're just going to go up and over. Great. If you want to add some arms there, you don't have to, but this will get your heart rate going a little bit more. And this kind of represents the back swing and then the forward swing. You shift your weight, quickly change direction, and then go the other way. So also we're doing some lateral side motion. And if you've been sitting all day, you really haven't been using these muscles. So these are good to activate every once in a while. Good job, guys. Keep going. Last 5 seconds. Nice. All right, from here, your heart rate should be going, which is good. That means that the blood is flowing. So it's going to make your muscles a little bit easier to stretch. So now we can do a few static stretches. So stand on the side of your slope, and then you're going to press your foot into there, and then extend your other leg out. Again, if you don't have a slope, you can do this like this, but it's better on the slope right here. So you can just drive that heel in, keep your belly pulled in nicely right here, and then if you want to add a little bit of a twist, you can add a twist. So we're going to do both legs, and breathe as you do this. Nice. So this is just a kind of a general workout. Like I said, if you haven't been moving around a lot today, this would be good to do. I'm going to keep it relatively low impact. If you want to go a little bit higher, you can do that. So we're just stretching on the other side right here, really driving that heel into the ground. And if you lean into the slope, it really gets your ankle, your calf, your shin, and then add that twisting motion. Like you do in the golf swing, you're turning your upper body separately from your lower body, and you're twisting. Great job, guys. All right, from here, stand on one side. We're going to flex over and get a nice little inner thigh stretch right here. Good. And then if you want to, you can pull your toes a little bit towards your shins, and you're just going to hold it right there. Good. If you want to, you can lean on your standing leg, and that gets a little bit of your glute muscle right there. Hold it for an inhale. Good. We're doing this on both sides, so go ahead and do the other side too. So hinge from your hip, lengthen your torso. Long, lean muscles work best for golf, and then you should feel a nice stretch in your hamstring right there, and then you're just sinking into it. Good. So this first part of this is the warm up. We're just doing a little bit of stretches, get those muscles ready, and then we'll move a little bit, do some power exercises. All right, from here, we're doing both sides. You can do a little side lunge. Again, lengthen the leg, keep the core nice and tight, pulled in, lean into that standing leg right there. To the leg that's on the slope right here, and you're just holding right here. If you want to add a little twist, you can add the twist. So I like to do a lot of exercises that add some rotation because those are good for your golf swing. Nice. And then you're going to go ahead and do it on the other side. Hopefully you can see me here. I don't have a camera person helping me, but I think you can. So you're going to lean into this side right here. Nice. Feel a nice stretch. Long, lean muscles work best. So you don't want to start right off with static stretches. You want to get your body warmed up first, get the blood flowing, and then do the static stretches. If you are, I think I forgot to do this one first. We got to do this one. If you go ahead and start with static stretches, your muscles might not be prepared to stretch that much, and you might do some damage. So make sure you do a little warm-up dynamically before, and then go ahead and pull those in. So I just did that backwards on this side. Sorry about that. Nice. All right, from here, just go ahead, stand behind here, and you can put your hands here. And what I like about the slope is because it's a little bit raised, it helps you a little bit as if you were just putting your hands on the floor. So it gives you a little bit of room, but you're still working just as hard. And then you're going to go ahead and straighten those legs and just feel, again, a little stretch in the back of your legs. And if you want to add the rotation, this is a great rotation exercise right here. So we're just doing exercises to help you move your body for today if you haven't been moving. Great, let's do one more on each side. Nice. And then go ahead and roll up one vertebrae at a time. All right, from here, if you have your regular golf club, you can also do this with a weight if you want to. If you want to go a little bit harder, but I'm going to show you some core exercises that I like to do using the slope. I'm just using the golf club because it's a nice thing to hold on to add a little bit of rotation. So let's just practice, first of all, lunging forward and back like this. So as you lunge, you want to make sure that you line your foot, your knee, your hip up, and then you want to get down into like a squat position and push off like that. So be mindful of your form. Try not to do this right here. Try not to wobble like this. You want to try to keep your chest nice and centered, and then you're lunging. All right, so this is just the first part of the exercise. Now we're going to stay on one side. So I always like to start with the right side. So stay on one side, get down here, and then we're rotating around that bent knee. So you're adding the rotation. If you want to breathe, you can exhale on the rotation. Exhale on the twist. Exhale on the twist. So you're rotating your upper body over a little resistance of the lower body. For 3, 2, and 1. So that, if you're a right-handed golfer, represent your backswing. Now you're going to go ahead and do the other side. So get down low first. Make sure you're hinged, you're balanced on those back toes, and now you're rotating on this side. Keeping that belly pulled in, that core nice and tight. Good. All right, here we go. For 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Push off. Now from here, you're going to alternate. So this is a little bit more challenging. You're going to get down low and then add the twist. So great little core, lower body exercise. So just holding on to the club just gives your arms something to do. Like this, if you want to, you can add a hand weight or a medicine ball, add a little bit more weight to it, more resistance. Just make sure you're doing it with good form. But a golf club works just as well. Nice, let's do one more on each side. So here, this would represent your backswing if you're right-handed, and this would represent your follow-through. Great. So one side might be a little bit tighter than the other, and that's because we have some imbalances. So if that's the case, you want to go ahead and do a little bit more on the opposite side. All right, so we're going to do a similar exercise, but now we're going to do it in an upslope. So I designed this so you can do fitness exercises, but this is a great way to practice those uphill and the downhill lies. You know, the ones that you have on the golf course, but you don't really practice those during when you're on the practice range, because the practice range is flat. So you can rehearse those here. So get yourself on an upslope right here. Again, if you don't have one of these, if you're a golfer, you should get one, but you can always just lift your front foot up, and that will kind of get you in that same position right here. All right, then from here, your arms go long, and try to get into a modified golf stance. So you're hinging from your hips, you're tilted away from the target, not into the target. Your arms are long, and now we're doing those rotators this way. So this would represent the backswing. So you're turning your upper body over the resistance of your lower body. So let me just show you what would be wrong. So you're not sliding like this. Okay, that would be an okay exercise, but it's not for golf. And you're not overturning that upper body, straightening that leg. This back leg kind of swivels, and you kind of just lunge into that back side right here. So you're not going on the outside like this, and you're not twisting this way. So it just looks like this. So you're doing your backswing. So imagine you're turning your back to the target. So you're not just swinging your arms up, you're actually rotating that back to the target. So if you rehearse that every day, even if you don't get to play golf or go practice, this would help your golf swing. So when you go finally get to play, the swing's not going to be totally foreign to you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite as if you were a left-handed golfer, if you're right-handed. So now I'm going to be on the upslope, pretend I'm a left-handed golfer. So now I'm on the upslope, and now I'm going to do my left-handed backswing. So I'm not as coordinated, it's not as smooth, it's not as pretty as my other one, and that's the point. You want to try to balance out your muscles. You want to try to turn equally both on each side here. So you want to rehearse as if you were a left-handed golfer, or if you're right, if you're left-handed, go to the other side right here, and really turn. Good. Try to get that back to the target. Try to extend your arms out. So you're doing about 8 over here. Nice. All right, so a couple other ways to do that same little exercise. You can loop the club behind your back, and I like it looped behind the back, especially if you have a mirror in front of you, because you can see how the club tilts. It doesn't rotates. Rotate. It doesn't tilt like this. It doesn't tilt like this. So you can practice turning your back to the target as if you're a right-handed golfer. So you can use the club, hook your elbows, and then use the club to turn your back to the target. Do 8 on this side. And then you're going to go ahead and go. Remember, you're on the opposite upslope as if you were a left-handed golfer, hitting that way. And now you're doing your backswing on this side. So I can feel on this side I'm not as good turning. The club actually comes off my back a little bit, so I really have to turn and work on this left side better. Nice. You can also do that with the club behind your shoulders. So this might be challenging for a lot of people. So if you can't get the club below your shoulders, you have it up here by your head, I wouldn't recommend you do it this way. You could always put your club across your shoulders and do it this way, like this, but I like it this way because it stretches out those shoulders. So imagine you're kind of sliding your shoulder blades down your back, the club is underneath your shoulders, not up here, and then you're doing that same motion. You're turning your back to the target. So great exercise, like I said, if you're not getting to play or practice, you're still using your golf muscles, you're still working your golf muscles. And then you're going to do, remember, the opposite swing. So now I'm on an upslope, I'm hitting that way as if I'm a left-handed golfer, and I'm turning this way. turning this way. Good. So if you're doing this for exercise, work a little bit on your core. Pull your belly button into your spine. Keep your waist nice and tight. And try to keep that tightness in your core as you do these exercises. Don't let your belly blow out. So protect your back. So you wouldn't think about that when you're swinging, but you can think about it when you're doing these exercises. So you might as well get a little core work in there as well. So that's a great exercise for your core and also for your golf swing. So squats are really great for golf too. So if you put the club on top here, again, if you don't have a slope, you can always put it on the ground, and get into a nice wide athletic stance. Stack one hand on top of the other, roll your shoulders away from your ears, and then you're squatting down, coming back up. So anything that you can do to squat's great for your golf swing. So watch how you squat. You drive your heels into the floor, you lower your seat down, try to get your thighs parallel, and if you're stretching your arms out, you can get your back and arms this way too. So don't squat like this, like that, and try not to come off of your heels and arch your back, so you're really driving your heels good into the floor. And you're coming back up. So squats are great for golf. So think about it. In the golf swing, you start in the squat position, and then you want to maintain that squat so that you can push off at the impact position. So squats are really good to practice. It's a total body exercise. It's going to get your heart rate up, 1. It's going to really work the flexibility in your ankles and your knees and your hips, 2. And if you're doing it with your arms, it'll help your upper body. And 3, it's really helping your lower body and core strength. So if you want to, again, pull that belly button in towards that spine and then squeeze those glutes as you come up. You might as well practice your golf swing and exercise at the same time. Great. All right, last one, come on up. So you can do some balance work too. Holding the club, you're going to step up, and then from here you can just use your toe just to get some balance right here, and just try to hold this for as long as possible. And then from here, if you want to close your eyes, it makes it more challenging. And then if you want to advance that, if you want to try to come up and hold one leg, and you're just balancing. So I like to do the balance exercises while my heart rate's still up, because then I have to really work hard to calm myself down. And that's what happens in the golf course sometimes. You might hit like a really great shot, heart rate gets up, and then you have to go and calm yourself down so you can make a smooth stroke to make the putt. So doing exercises like that help. So then you would come down and then switch. So I have some ankle issues on my left side. So this side is always more challenging for me. So I have to work on really trying to stabilize that ankle. I'm trying to get it stronger. And doing these balance exercises are really great. So you can do these while you're watching TV. Again, if you really want to challenge yourself, close your eyes and try to hold these up to 30 seconds. Nice. Good job, guys. All right. Then from here, if you want to do some strength exercises, you want to get some weights if you have weights. Otherwise, I'm going to show you with the slope right here. So the slope weighs about 8 pounds, so it's a good medium-sized weight. I like to do some side flexion, holding on to this weight right here, and then going side and really pulling up. So this works your hips, your obliques, your shoulders. You're learning side flexion, and side flexions are really important in the golf swing, because when you can side bend a lot more, then it's easier to rotate. So again, we don't do these kind of exercises during the day, normal activities, so you have to seek these exercises out. So do about 8 repetitions, good. So like I said, we're just kind of doing a general workout to get some movement going. If we were doing a workout for strength, then we would do a lot more repetitions, we would do a lot more sets. So I'm just kind of showing you some of the exercises that I do for this using my CardioGolf slip. So this is a great exercise right here. Inhale one direction, exhale the other direction. From here, you can do some core and chest work right here. Like I said, this weighs about 8 pounds. If you want to do a compound exercise, we can squat and stretch out. Good. So again, you don't need to use the slope if you don't want to. You can just use your arms. Anytime you extend your arms out, it works your core more like that. So we're just continuing on with those squats that we were doing before, but we've just added some upper body. This is great to do. You can do some tricep exercises here, working those arms in different planes of motion. So you're working the back of your arms right here, tricep presses, right here. So 8 to 10 repetitions. Then you can do a shoulder press like this. Again, if you want to get into like a lunge, you can do a lunge and split squat like this. This will get your shoulders. Nice. Good, you can do a kettlebell swing. You gotta widen your stance a lot. Hinge and then swing up. So this is a great exercise. If you don't have that, just pretend like you're holding the kettlebell, hinge and come up. Good. So just some general exercises to get us moving if we've been sitting around all day. Good. So although these don't look like the golf swing, they're golf pattern exercises. In the golf swing, you load your weight, you shift your weight, and then you fling your arms. So this kettlebell swing is the same pattern. You load, shift, and then swing your arms. So that's a great exercise to do. Nice. All right, so now I'm going to show you how I use the slope to work on the golf swing. So the Shortee Practice Training Club, it's short so that you can swing inside. You're not going to hit the ceilings or the walls. The club face is closer to your hands, so you can really monitor the club face position. So this combined with the slope is a great way to practice. So if you're right-handed, you're going to get on the up slope right here, choke down on it with your back arm, and rehearse your backswing. So we're kind of just breaking down the swing here. So at the top of your swing, if you want to check your position, you would swing and then you would look at your arm. Don't do it this way. If you want to check your position, you're trying to get that arm in a nice right angle, your hands underneath supporting the club, and you want to have a definite stop position at the top. Don't let the club bobble behind you. So you don't want to be here one time and then back over here the next time. Try to find your definite stop position. Good, because then you have to change directions. So I like to do the back swing on the upslope, like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and go down and on the downslope. So now I'm on the downslope, and I'm going to do the whole swing on the downslope. Again, I'm going to get into that top of my backswing. Because I'm on an upslope, it might be restricted. But now with the downslope right here, I'm really going to go down and through and finish my swing. So where people go wrong on the downslope is they try to help the ball up in the air. So let gravity take you forward and swing through. So those rotation exercises we were doing still go. You're trying to turn your back to the target and then use your lower body and finish your swing. Good. So you're doing your back swing with your back arm only. Now go ahead and go back to the upslope with the front arm. And since I am a right-handed golfer, this front arm is always a little bit weaker. So it's good to practice those single arm swings because that'll help your strength right here. If you're having a hard time keeping this lead arm straight, you can always help yourself. Take your back hand and put it on your wrist, and then you can stretch your arm back behind here. It's a great little exercise. Get into your dream backswing position right here. Imagine Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy. Ernie Els is my favorite one to think about. Arm is super straight. It's not bent like this. So get into your backswing position. Turn your back to the target like we were practicing at the beginning. Nice. Then go ahead and go to the downslope. Again, you're on the downslope. And now from here, you're doing your backswing. Try to keep it nice and extended, but let go of your hand now because now you want this front arm to come down in front of you, and then you want it to fold to release. Where people go wrong on the follow-throughs, they try to help the ball up in the air. See how that arm is not folding? It's got to fold, and it gets closer to me, and that's how I get club head speed. That's how I get club head speed. So I'm going to go all the way through, and just imagine that club touching you between the shoulders to finish. If you try to get that club to touch you between the shoulders, you'll accelerate all the way through to the finish. You don't want to get in the habit of stopping your swing all the way through. Good. All right, then you can go back to the upslope again, and then put both hands on, and then rehearse your backswing. Get into your dream backswing position. So about 8 to 10. So you can see I'm not looking at where my club is. I'm looking down at where a ball is the whole time. I'm not watching my club head as I go back. So you can even stop at the top, try to get your arms extended, get into that nice position at the top there, and then you're going to the downslope and you're doing the whole swing. Good. So you can see the shorty club is great to swing inside if you don't have a lot of room. Good. So I developed this club because I used to teach golf at Doral. I worked for Jim McLean, and it was in Miami. And January we had a lot of people come down from the northeast, from Chicago, from Minnesota, wherever. And then they would take lessons in January, and then they would go home and then not practice until April again. So I would make some tapes for people and show them swing positions and exercises to do. And then one guy called me up and he said that he loved all the exercises, but he wasn't allowed to swing the club in the house anymore because he broke the chandelier. He was swinging a full club inside. So then I got this idea of cutting down a club, and sort of my cardio golf program was kind of born right then and there. So the shorty club obviously is not to hit balls with, it's to rehearse your swing. And it's good to rehearse your swing sometimes without actually hitting the ball, because then there's no judgment of where the ball is going. So you can actually work on some of the positions that your golf instructor are trying to help you with. Also, it's going to save your muscles too. When you hit a lot of balls, you're not going to hit all of them perfectly in the center, so you're going to miss-hit a lot of shots, and that jars your muscles, so it's easy to get tendonitis and some injuries if you're hitting a lot of balls. If you're making practice swings, you're always making a perfect swing, so you're not going to really jar your muscles, you're not going to hit the ground, you're probably going to help not get injured so much. Alright, so from here I'm just going to show you one more thing. Like I said, this is just a little general workout to get you guys moving on this Friday afternoon. I don't know what day it is. Just do a couple of stretches on this thing. So this acts as a little Pilates arc. I teach Pilates, and you can lay on this sideways like this, and then you can do a lot of stretching. So this is a great exercise. I'm going to pull my top arm up, get a nice length here, and hold it. Now for stretching, I'm going to hold it for a little bit longer, try to lengthen the muscles. And then from here, you can do a nice little twisting action. You can turn your chest, so your hips are going one way and your chest is going another way. Lengthen your back. You can take one hand over here. It's more challenging here. So we do this stretching series on a short box on a reformer, but you can do this at home with the CardioGolf Slope. Nice. You can do this as a little tiny back arch right here. You can work on your spinal mobility right here. This is a great exercise to finish the day with. Nice. And then of course, you want to go ahead and do those same stretches on the other side. So side stretch. So there's lots of different exercises. So I have a video subscription, CardioGolf.com, and I have hundreds of videos using the slope, not using the slope, using the shorty club, regular club, all golf specific. So you can exercise at home, you can practice your golf swing if you can't get to the golf course, if it's raining, if it's cold. And I always tell people that it's better to practice 5 minutes every day than to wait till you have like 1 or 2 hours at the end of the week. Usually it never happens. And then secondly, within those 2 hours, you kind of get bored. It's hard to hit balls for that long. It could lead to injury. And so I'd rather see you do a little bit every day and keep your muscles golf ready. So that was just a little general golf fitness to help loosen you up for this afternoon. And like I said, I've been trying to do this every week for everybody.